The Central Bank of Nigeria instructs banks to seek customers' consent before sharing customers' personal data and payment service. Hello everyone, you're welcome to the news. The Central Bank of Nigeria has published new guidelines directed to commercial banks and fintech companies. The guidelines, among other things, is seeking to protect customers' data and have instructed consent must be sought first. The growing number of fintech companies has raised concerns about privacy and the use of personal data. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has directed that no longer should information be given to any of these fintech companies without consulting the bank account holder first. The Apex Bank stated this in its operational guidelines for open banking in Nigeria, released on its website. Open banking requires that banks share their customers' data with other competing financial institutions for the purpose of marketing and deployment of digital banking products and services. The Nation reports that in the guidelines, the CBN instructed bank customers' consent be obtained in the same form the agreement was presented, and a copy of the consent of the customer shall be made available to the customer and preserved by the participants. The Apex Bank also stressed that participants in open banking shall adhere strictly to security standards when accessing and storing data, and shall be subject to minimum privacy, operational and risk management and customer experience standard. Henceforth, the consent of the customer shall be revalidated annually, stating that where the application programming interface consumer AC had not used the service for 180 days, the participants shall ensure that the correction is configured to terminate upon expiration of the consent. Details of the guidelines also noted that appropriate customer authentication methods, such as multi-factor authentication shall be established to reduce the chance of identity theft or fraud. It also directed that customers shall always have control over their data and be able to access, manage, or withdraw their consent at any point in time. It also states that participants shall develop and agree on a consent management mechanism, which includes a clear set of policies and procedures. The CBN also recognized the existence of an ecosystem for application programming interface (API) in the banking and payment systems. It said it was also aware of various efforts in the industry to develop acceptable standards among stakeholders. So this is the report coming from the new reports coming from CBN guidelines, and honestly, a lot of things have been happening in our banking sector where people complain that they just see withdrawals from their accounts without their permission. A lot of people will continually fill forms, and when they get upset, they go to the banks to rant and, of course, express their grievances in loud tones, which is always not pleasant to the workers of the institutions. So perhaps this is one of the measures to be put in place, but we hope that we don't lose faith finally in our banking sector, which was one of the strongest in Africa. So what's your comments on this? We just pray things get sorted in Nigeria, and our banking sector must not lose the integrity and the systemic structure that once made it an envy to all. Please drop your comments in the comments